Welcome back to the True Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Captain Silva, and we have a new segment for you. We put together a compilation of this week's verses of the day. So we've got some reminders of God's hope and encouragement, and just in case you missed today, well, here's your chance to catch up. I hope you enjoy them. Have you ever had a day where you felt like things were just kind of hopeless? Maybe you felt like you were stuck in life for one reason or another. Maybe it's you're trapped in a struggle in life. Maybe you're feeling trapped in sin. Maybe you're feeling trapped in a job. I don't know. But every once in a while, we feel kind of stuck in our lives. Can I tell you this? Today's verse reminds us that God doesn't leave us there. Psalm 40 verse 2 says, "He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on the solid rock, and He steadied me as I walked along." See, this verse reminds us that God is there to lift us up out of that pit and set our feet on the solid rock of His Son, Jesus Christ. And it gives us a firm foundation for our steps. God gives hope to the hopeless. He gives promise to the broken. If we'll only call on Him, if we'll only seek Him out and invite Him into those tough parts of our lives, He's faithful and just to meet us there and to help us out of any situation. I hope this helps your day. God bless you. Fear is an interesting thing. It's a good thing when it reminds us to be careful around the stove. It's a bad thing when it moves into our lives and steals our joy and our peace. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." It gives us strength for the day. It gives us the ability to love those who are difficult to love. And it gives us self-discipline, which is extremely important for the life of a Christian. But this is a perfect reminder that God equips us with inner strength from His Spirit. He doesn't fill us with fear. So if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed by a certain type of fear today, lean into God's Spirit instead. Lean into the Holy Spirit. Allow Him to guide the day and melt that fear away. God bless you. Have a great day. I was thinking of how God is the healer of the hurt we hold inside. Like when someone's negative comment about us seems to always resonate inside our heads, or when we've lost a loved one, or when we still blame ourselves for mistakes we made years ago. Well, I found a verse for this. Psalm 147 verse 3 says, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." We all carry hidden pain, negative words that still echo, grief that lingers, or mistakes that we just can't let go of. But God is the healer of those deep wounds. He sees what others can't and restores what feels like it's broken beyond repair. So today, let this verse remind you, you don't have to carry the hurt alone. God heals. I hope this blesses you, and I hope you have a great day. In a world that often feels very uncertain, God is the source of unshakable hope. Let me show you what I mean. Romans 15 verse 13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." He fills us with joy and peace, not because everything is perfect, but because His Spirit gives us strength to keep going. Let this verse remind you today, hope is not fragile when it's rooted in God. You guys have a great day. You know, the older I get, the more that I start to understand a couple of truths about life. Friendships can fade. Romantic feelings can fizzle out. Even promises from people sometimes fall short. But here's the good news. God's love never runs out. Here, let me show you. In Lamentations 3, verses 22 and 23, it says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." It's a simple fact. God's love never runs out. His mercies are new every morning, and His faithfulness never fails. Whatever this week is taken from you, let today's verse remind you that God's love endures and His faithfulness remains constant. I hope this encourages you, and I hope you have a good day. Well, it's Saturday morning, and maybe you've carried a lot this week. Stress from work, family, or even just the weight of trying to keep everything together. But listen to what Jesus says in Matthew 11, verse 28. "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." We've all tried finding rest in distractions, scrolling, entertainment, even sleep. But the kind of rest Jesus offers is deeper. It's rest for your soul. So as you step into this weekend, don't just rest your body. Rest your heart in Him. Lay your worries at His feet and let Him renew your strength. God's rest isn't temporary. It's lasting and it's real. I hope you guys have a great weekend. God bless. Well, that'll do it for this week. But I'm curious, which verse spoke to you the most? If you will, you can drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for next week's encouragement. We'll see you next time, and God bless.